The Detroit Lions, or shall I say the Detroit Patriots? I don't know, it's kind of trending that way. I know it's kind of become a joke for Lions fans, or kind of a little bit comedic at this point. Like, Patricia, Quinn, are you just going to continue to sign these former Patriots? They already had some last year, Danny Amendola, Wilson at safety. They've been stocking up on Patriot players. And now this offseason, they go out and they sign Jamie Collins. They trade for Duron Harmon. They sign Danny Shelton. I mean, at this point, it's nearly half the defense used to play for New England. But let me make this clear. These aren't just moves that are just the sake of making moves because you like the player, because you had him when you were the defensive coordinator. These guys are legitimately good players. These guys are legitimately good scheme fits because Patricia basically runs the same defense as Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. And these are players that made an impact last year for New England, which, if you watch football last year, New England was ranked first on defense last year. So obviously they're at least decent. And I think when you look at these two moves in particular, Danny Shelton and Doron Harmon from the Patriots, they're two needs, big-time needs, that I think the Lions really could use. An interior defensive lineman, a big guy in the middle of their defensive line, and then a free safety center fielder that makes plays and is great in coverage in Doron Harmon. You then look at the third move they made, which was not surprisingly a Patriot signing. It was a Atlanta Falcons signing. Desmond Trufant, the corner, has signed with the Lions. That deal is 2 years, $21 million with 14 guaranteed. And the Danny Shelton move is 2 years, $8 million per. Doron Harmon is $5.7 million. So these are all moves that, yeah, they're going to cost some money, but they're definitely going to upgrade this defense. So let's start off with Danny Shelton. Danny Shelton had his best season of his NFL career last year. He was a player that came into the NFL with high expectations for the Cleveland Browns. He was a first round pick, not first overall pick. I believe he was picked like 12th overall, at least in the top 15. And he came in with high expectations. He came in as a guy that would be that nose tackle for the Browns, and this athletic guy. Everybody was like, wow, look at this 300-plus pounder that can run like this and is this strong and has these measurables. And he never really lived up to that with Cleveland. And then in his first season in New England, he was good. He was solid, but he wasn't like anything special. I don't think he was really an impact player. He had his moments, specifically in the Super Bowl versus the Rams, where he was great. I mean, he was phenomenal. And one of those impact defensive players in that game. But I mean, what Patriot defender wasn't good in that game? But besides the point, he was great this year. I mean, he really took his game to the next level. I think part of that had to do with the fact that he did lose some weight. So make sure that you do check up on Danny Shelton in terms of what he's looking like physically. Did he gain weight? Did he lose weight? What's his weight at? Is he looking trim? Because Danny Shelton, just the fact that I think he lost weight, I think it made him a better conditioned player. I think it made him a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, a little bit quicker to react, because he still has that strength. His strength is in his legs. He's a mover. He's going to move people in the interior of the defensive line. And where he's actually pretty underrated is his ability as a pass rusher to just push the pocket. That's what he's really good at. So Danny Shelton is one of those defensive tackles that he's not going to show up every play, but when he does show up on a play, he's going to make a big play. Like, it's going to be a sack, it's going to be a tackle for loss, it's going to be a spectacular tackle by Danny Shelton shedding two guys and grabbing the running back. It's going to be that type of play. He's an impact player when he does make a play, and he played very well last year. One of the best interior linemen on the Patriots, no doubt about it, last year. And he's going to be tough to replace for the Patriots. But for the Lions, he basically replaces A'Shawn Robinson. And I think you do get an upgrade there. You get a more consistent player. I think you get a better athlete than A'Shawn Robinson. Danny Shelton, for his size, which he's a big man, is actually really, really athletic. Like, I think he's probably one of the most athletic 345-pound people you'll see on earth. So there you have it. Danny Shelton, former New England Patriot with a career-high 3 sacks last season, a career-high 61 tackles last season, and a career-high 6 quarterback hits last season for New England. He's still only 26, going on 27, a former first-round pick of the Cleveland Browns. He's going to be a good one for Detroit, and I know Matt Patricia is going to know how to utilize him. Now, the second Patriot that the Detroit Lions traded for, not signed, but traded for, was Doron Harmon. I don't know the exact details of the trade. All I know that it was for late draft picks. Let me know in the comments what the exact trade was, because it slipped my mind. I don't actually know what it was, but it was nothing major. It was just a trade of draft picks. Basically, what the Patriots are doing here is they're opening up cap space because they're very tight against the cap. And Doron Harmon for the Patriots, I'll put it this way, is replaceable for New England, was a good player for New England and played a great role for New England secondary. But given that New England secondary is still like, if it's not the best, it's an elite company, and they have a lot of players there that can play corner, safety, like who knows, they might move Jason McCourty to safety more permanently this season instead of corner. They just have tremendous depth there. So their ability to move a player for cap space, Doron Harmon was that player, and Detroit, he's going to be a much bigger impact player, play a little bit more than I think he did in New England, and he's going to be more important for Detroit's success than he would have been in New England. That's the way I'll put it. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, and New England will have to replace his role because he played a specific role in New England, which was the center field safety in 3 safety sets. And he played almost exclusively on passing downs. And basically, he would be out there. You would have Patrick Chung at strong safety / linebacker in the box. You would have Devin McCourty covering maybe a tight end or playing deep left side or right side. Or you would have and then you would have Doron Harmon as the deep safety center fielder, or you'd have him on the opposite side of Devin McCourty. Doron Harmon, you're almost never going to see within the 10-yard box. You're never going to see him within the first down marker. Like, it's very, very rare. He's not an in-box safety. He does not make a lot of tackles in the run game. He is a make sure that you don't give up a big play safety. And he's also a safety that has incredible play recognition skills, incredible awareness to read a quarterback, and he just doesn't give up a lot of plays. Like, the thing about Harmon is he might not show up with a lot of big plays in terms of like regularly making tackles, regularly breaking up passes. Where he shows up is as the closer, which was his nickname in terms of interceptions for the Patriots. In huge games, playoff games, Super Bowls, Doron Harmon has done it. And then where he also shows up is where he doesn't show up. And that's in not allowing big plays. So that's the role of a safety. It's an underrated role of a safety, specifically a free safety. You don't want to give up big plays. You're the last guy back. You're the last guy allowing a touchdown. And the Patriots have regularly been one of the top teams in not allowing big plays. And part of that has been because of Duron Harmon. So those are the 2 Patriot moves. And the last move is Desmond Trufant at corner. Now, of course, we know that Darius Slay is going to most likely be traded sometime soon. So Desmond Trufant is going to add to the secondary. And I actually really like this move because I've been a fan of Desmond Trufant for a lot of his career, and I've really liked him for the most part. I do think that him being in that Atlanta scheme has gotten a little bit stale, and I am actually looking forward to seeing what he can do more as a man-to-man cover corner, which is what Matt Patricia likes to do. And obviously Patricia saw something on the tape where Trufant could go from a cover 3 match type of defense to more of a man-to-man defense. And I really think that Trufant might have one of his better years this year. I'm not just building you Lions fans up. I actually think this is a really good scheme fit. I think Trufant is still a good player, and even though he had kind of a down year this year, I think he might rejuvenate himself in a new scheme with a new coach on a new team. So you have Trufant, you have Justin Coleman, who's another former Patriot, at corner. I don't know if they're going to draft Okudah or not, or what they're going to do, but that would be a very nice secondary if you had two really solid outside corners, which Trufant is an outside corner, boundary corner, and then you have Justin Coleman in the slot. That would be interesting. You also added Doron Harmon to the safety position, so they go 3 or 4 deep at the safety position. So I like the Lions, the way that they're building this defense. They got an athletic linebacker in Jamie Collins. They got a big play game wrecker in Danny Shelton. They added a safety in Duron Harmon, and they added a corner in Desmond Trufant. And I don't think I'm missing anyone there. I might be, but those are 4 players that are all fitting needs for this defense, and I would not be shocked if this defense was significantly better in 2020.